Our other top story tonight, a conversation with our viewers about marijuana tax revenues and why your child's school likely won't see additional money, as some of you thought you were voting for.
So to understand how this works, we're going to start off by understanding what the Nevada Fund does. Now, the Nevada plan was approved back in the 1960s in order to give all kids an equal educational opportunity. Now, the way it does that is by putting finances to a formula that guarantees funding for schools, and then it balances out that guaranteed funding.
So what does that have to do with why your child's school may not see that marijuana revenue? Joining us now to explain is Shakayla Alvarenga.
Well, that's right. We have been digging for answers in this very complicated issue. And to put it simply, the marijuana money goes to the state. The state meets their obligation to education. But as we said, it is not additional funding for Clark County schools.
I think a lot of people thought it would be beneficial to kids because they saw that the tax revenues would go to schools, and so for them that was a win.
But were voters tricked? Rebecca Garcia believes so. So does the school board trustee vice president.
And legislators know that this is what's happening. So it's not a secret, it's just not well understood.
Let's start with the giant state pot of money called the Distributive School Account, or DSA. Clark County gets about $5,800 for each student from the state. That number is decided by a formula called the Nevada Plan. The money made from marijuana tax revenues, that's $24 million, goes into that state pot. When the money goes into the pot, the balance goes up, but the per pupil funding that Clark County gets doesn't.
The revenue gets added to the big pot at the state level. It just doesn't increase the amount our school district sees. That's what stays the same.
So when CCSD argues that it's not seeing any more money, it's right.
It replaces money, it doesn't increase money.
And when the state says the money goes to education, it's right too.
No matter how many times we pass these new taxes, because of the way education funding at the state happens right now, it doesn't actually add money to our school district. Everything still kind of stays flat, no matter how much more money comes in, because of the way school funding has been since the 60s.
Now, Garcia and local legislators are working to make some changes that may make a difference. We talked about one of those options last week, a bill that Senator Tick Segerblum is introducing. Now, that would allow the marijuana tax revenues to stay in the county where it's actually generated.
Sure, a lot of voters feel like they've been given a switcheroo on this, so
that's what we've heard.
we appreciate you explaining it. Thanks, Shakayla.
Great
Thank
job
you.
breaking it down.